First, thank you so much for coming on, Mr. Backderf. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Um, so let's start off with this. So, like, when you were a kid, did you have a different career in mind, or did you always have aspirations to become an author?
I knew I was going to go into comics in some form. Yeah, from like when I was 6 or 7 years old. It was just a question of what. So,
Right, right. So like, why a graphic novel instead of a longer written novel? Was there like a clear-cut reason why you decided to go that route?
because this is the way that I tell stories and always have since I was a kid. I mean, if I had, if I was an opera composer, it would have been an opera. If I was a filmmaker, it would have been a film. But I'm a comics creator. It's what I do. And so I made it into a graphic novel.
Awesome. So you mentioned earlier having a hand in the movie. So like, what role did you really play in the creation of that?
Well, I provided the source material. I mean, it's obviously an adaptation of my book. So, I consulted on the film. I mean, I was not shy about giving my opinion about various things, and that's my right as the author. Um, but it's a separate piece of work. I mean, you have to kind of make peace with that. When you agree to do a film, you pass it off to another artist to interpret in their own way. So, if you're not prepared to do that, then don't do it in the first place.
Right. And so when there are many scenes of the book where like you weren't present, so how did you go about filling in all of those blanks?
Well, it's all sourced in the back. A lot of that comes from the friends I was talking about, from Mike and from Neil, who gave me their accounts. So I used those because I trusted them and I trusted their memories. And there are a few things that came from other sources, like things that Dahmer said in those interviews I was talking about from the FBI files or from some of his other interviews. I mean, it's just stuff I followed to the source and then thought, well, yeah, I can use that. And then I tried to corroborate it with other material that I knew and was confident in. So, you compare sources and try to match them up. And it took a long time. That's why the book took, so long to make.
Right. That's some real dedication to have a project like that go over that amount of time, you know?
Well, yeah, but I was doing other stuff. I mean, it wasn't like I was just working on this. This was just always kind of burning in the background. And there were times when it was really far in the background. But time kind of got away from me. Yeah, it's like I look up, it's like been 15 years. I'm like, whoa, man, geez, I got to finish this book.
Right. So with your other work, what would you say? Do you have like a favorite piece that you've done?
Well, your favorite piece? No, I mean, I like them all. All four. I've done four original graphic novels, and I like them all for different reasons. Obviously, the one that just came out is my current obsession. So that's the one I'm, publicizing most. So, and then it's on to the next project. So work till you die.
Right. Um, so were there any other moments or indications other than the trip to the mall that Dahmer gave any indications of his tendencies?
Well, never his murderous tendencies. I mean, that was a surprise to us all. Um, yeah, I mean, every day. I mean, you're talking about a kid who was reeked of alcohol at 7 in the morning. I mean, that's not normal behavior to be falling down drunk at 7 in the morning every single day of your senior year. Um, so yeah, I mean, there were a lot of there. I mean, alarm bells were clanging everywhere. It's just that no one heard them.
Think that your relationship with Jeffrey Dahmer, do you consider yourself like friends at that point? Or do you think that Dahmer had any like real friends in that part of his life?
I don't think he really had close friends like you and I would consider a close friend. No, I don't think he was capable of that, especially by the end. There wasn't a lot left of him, a lot left of his humanity at the end. Yeah, we were friends. I mean, I mean, think about all the people that you would call friends, I mean, you have close friends, you have school friends, you have friends in certain, extracurricular activities. I mean, they're all different kinds of friends that especially high school kids have in their lives. So, they're not all close friends. You have your inner circle, And then you have a bunch of other, friends who are a little further out. And, Dahmer was not a close friend. Like I said, he didn't have any close friends, but yeah, he was a friend.
Right. And then to kind of finish it off, do you think that he could have turned out differently if an outside source had intervened?
Well, that's the big unanswered question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But because no one did intervene, his doom was ensured. And that's the thing I have the most problem with in this story, is that if somebody had just given a damn, maybe it would have turned out differently.
Right. Well, I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, Mr. Backderf.
My pleasure.
So awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.